Welcome back to the Irish Mags Show. My name is Paul. I'll be your host for today. And joining me, our Chief Community Correspondent of the Irish Mags, Mr. Alan Williamson. Say hello, Alan.
How's it going, lads? How are we?
We have the king of bad takes and lost gloves, Mr. Chris O'Martin. How are you doing, Chris O?
I'm doing very good, Paul. Nice to see you.
You like that title, I think, do you? It's quite specific. It's quite unique.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, you take it. You've no choice. And I'm delighted to also welcome back our co-chairman of the Irish Mags, supreme leader, of course it is, Mr. Tevin Farid. Tev, I feel like it's been a while since we've had you on the pod. What's going on? What did we do?
I went to Newcastle and only came back. I don't
Never
know.
came back.
Never came back. But Premier League is back this week.
You just, you know what? You spent the weekend with Alan and Chris Show, and you were pining for them since you left at the airport, since you bid
That's
farewell,
it.
and you just couldn't wait to see them again. I
it.
can feel the love.
Yeah,
Just not from
Gotta feel
Tev.
something as well.
Yeah, well, judging by what I've seen of the weekend's events, there's a lot to talk about, and that's where we're going to start today's show with a big review of the Sela Weekender, because all three of you, much to my eternal jealousy, as we've mentioned, were travelling along with a big bunch of the Irish Mags, young and old. Great to see all the photos and the crack that was had. And lads, we're going to spend about half an hour now talking about what is okay for podcast material, and the stuff that isn't. We'll talk about off air as we usually do. Alan, I think we'll start with you first, because I think Chris probably still needs a bit more time to resurrect his memories of the weekend. Such was Chris Show's weekend in a nutshell. It looks like, as I said, we had a load of the Irish Mags travelling over in numbers. I don't know if we even got a final number on it, but judging by the photos, like one of the bigger crowds that we've had travelling.
Yeah.
And, of course, one hell of a weekend that was had with it.
It was up there for weekends. I will be very, very honest about it. I was going into it going, this will be a good weekend. It'll be a pre-season. What a weekend. Absolutely unbelievable. The crack was 90, as they say. I just couldn't get over how good everything went. And to spoiler alert, that stack, sensational. Absolutely unbelievable. And
Love it.
the Irish Mags are going to have a very, very good time there every single weekend that we go over there. But yeah, the amount of Irish Mags that we got over to the Sela, the amount of kids that got to their first games, it was just immense. Absolutely loved the weekend. And I'm sure the lads did too. It was just great.
Yeah, it looks like the Irish Mags had a great time in the stack. The Irish Mags bank accounts maybe not so much, so I'm sure there's a lot of a stack of stack transactions on the Irish Mags bank accounts. But well worth it, of course. And Chris, like on that note, I suppose, in terms of logistics over the few days, like could you even count if I was to ask you how many pubs you visited over the weekend? And of course, like how was your experience of that new stack supporter area?
I think that let me start here now. I've got loads of notes, right? But look, listen. Myself and Al and his beautiful Mrs. Emma were the first over, so we decided to knock into the stack and just to see what it was like. We didn't even think it was open, and I said, I think that's open. So we just walked down, just walked straight in. For anyone that's listening, they opened the coffee shops at 8 a.m. They open at 10, even though the staff are only rostered from 12 to 10, and they have special license to serve beer an hour earlier on match days. So the bars were open, and we were like, hang on a second. And then Al spotted the War beer, and it's not on tap. But the other bar was on tap, so we went over and got 2 pints of War beer. Do try it for yourself, but it is wow. It's not for myself and Alan's taste. I can tell you that, especially not at 11 o'clock in the morning. Yeah,
I drink cider, so it's never going to agree with me. But
it was bizarre. It was bizarre, but I mean, fair play to them for giving their money to War Flags and everything else. Fantastic. But War, no, not War beer. War, no, not at all. So that was 11 a.m. And we were just kind of taken aback by the whole thing. And okay, we'll go back and get a nap. The rest of the lads are coming in at 2 p.m. on the Ryanair flight because me and Al are a bit fancy. We go on Aer Lingus, and they all arrived. We met Tev. Tev was trying to wake Al up. He was trying to wake me up. We woke everybody up. We were like, Tev, where are you? So we went down to the stack. No, everybody couldn't believe it when they walked in. The atmosphere, we thought, we'll grab a table. Will we if? Mm-hmm. We walked in, the place was rammed, absolutely rammed at 2 p.m. So we got a barrel. We got a barrel by one of the bars, and me and Tev thought, try the Guinness. Let's see what it's like. Let's give it a shot. Fully expecting it to be let's say mediocre, and it was delightful. girl from Derry pulled it. Fair play to her. So she knew what she was doing. And the Guinness was a solid 8 out of 10.
Solid.
Beautiful, beautiful stuff. And then from that point onwards, Tev said to me, look, I think we'll stick on the Guinness, will we? And we did. By God, we stuck to it. I don't remember that much of after that bit of parking. Shots arriving, people going. Alan arrives up with the flags. I thought they were going to ask us to take them down. They didn't.
No,
He put them all up. So we took over a whole section of the stack with all of our flags. Kids were coming over. People were coming over and taking pictures with them. And yeah, essentially, I kind of forgot we had a match at half 7. That's how much the crack was.
I did think I was going to be lifted out of it. I was standing on a barrel, like tying one of the flags, and bouncer comes barreling over and he's like, don't fall, and then just walked away. And I was like, I thought I was getting dragged out of here.
Good advice. Good advice.
It's a grand thanks.
So
He obviously witnessed, Alan. He obviously witnessed you drinking your probably your first or only, because I saw a photo of you holding a Guinness now, as we've talked about on this pod, and you've had the gall and the nerve to slag off Guinness on this pod in front of me and Chrisio in particular. Chrisio said 8 out of 10. Alan,
Guinness is Guinness. It's rancid. I drank it. The lads will vouch. I drank the whole pint. We didn't enjoy it, but alcohol's alcohol. You get it into you.
fair.
That was, I tell you what, that was the Saturday. That's when we met Matty and had the Guinness tip. You know what I mean? And Guinness tip. So that's like a 24 hours later. What we still had was kind of, right, what are we doing? Just a small story. I said to Al, I think the programs are out. And he went, oh, yeah, good idea, Chris. Go and get some program stuff and I'll get one. I went out of the stack. I went out of the stack at the place where we walked in. And I said to the two lads in the door, I'm just going to get programs up there, just there. And they went, no worries, bud. Yeah, no worries. Went up and got them, turned around, came back. And they said, this is just an exit. Sorry. You'll have to get in the queue to get back in. So I had a pint inside and I stood in the queue, Paul, with 5 programs for 28 minutes, waiting to get back in. And I even went up to the organizer and said, like, as if I'm famous or something. And I said, oh, sorry, I was actually inside. I just went to get programs. And he went,
He told you to get back around.
Get back in the queue. Why are you talking to me? Why is this drunk Irish guy talking to me? So I got back in the queue, right? And the people at the back in the queue went, hey, buddy, where are you going? I was just standing here. And I thought, honestly, they were going to say, get to the back of the queue. Because it would have taken like 45 minutes to get in. Yeah, then Graham and all the guys walked by. Ted was like coming back from the stadium. And I was kind of thinking, wait a minute. I was the only one inside with Emma. What's going on here? He's going to think we just left him there. But yeah, they let us in. It was 20 at a time, lads. So 20 came out, 20 went in, 20 went. So, but look, that was the first experience of the stack. We could have not went to the match, Paul, and it would have been the crack almighty.
Yeah.
All night.
I can only assume you've read that program like front to back cover because you were 28 minutes holding 5 minutes. So
absolutely.
There's usually some nice quizzes and puzzles which might help you for any future Irish Mags mastermind quizzes that we do. You need all the help you can get.
I do.
That sounds unreal, lads. I'm back to being completely green with envy here, and I'm raging that I couldn't make it, especially because all 3 of you were there. Tev, Chrisio mentioned Matty there. Matty is a friend of ours, obviously the Magpie channel. He's been on the pod not once but twice before in the past with us. Great friend of the Irish Mags, is also fond of a Guinness. He's threatening to be more of an Irish mag than Alan is in terms of his fondness of Guinness, but again, it's for another day. But Tev, you were actually over a little bit earlier, I believe, than most Irish Mags. I think you went over on the Thursday. And not only that, you know, much to everyone who knows Tev, much to everyone's surprise, you know, Tev was snapped in a photograph holding an Irish Mags flag, looking very happy with himself because he managed to meet what I can only describe as Irish Mags royalty over in the Toon. Tev, for anyone who's missed it, tell us, how did this come about? Tell us who it was and how it happened.
Yeah, Big Shay. So obviously I went on the cheapest flight of the week on the Thursday, so like you guys on the Aer Lingus. But it was organised kind of a few weeks ago where Matty kind of gave us a shout and kind of said that he was doing a show with Shay Given, and you'd like to kind of come over. Obviously the Irish roots, etc., Irish Mags. We did meet before going for the Milan game, and I was kind of thinking, does he remember us? So again, Shay Given flag. You know, it was always going to work. So he went down. But first of all, like Matty is an Irish mag, you know, he's part of the family now. Like we've been kind of liaising, everybody knows him, but like he's so genuine and down to earth. And I said it to him, like he's only going to the top, and even the way he presented and stuff like that was fantastic. But and he knows that as well, and he likes a Guinness. He likes a Guinness, you know. He backs himself up. Again, let's see. He put the same face that Alan put on in the stack, so you know I'm wary, you know. But I thought it was fantastic. Shay Given literally, I think for 25 minutes went through Keith Gillespie. He went through a lot of people, but it was a different side to Shay. You know, it was fantastic to see. It wasn't like an event with 1,000 people. It was an event with about 80 people. It was like the back of a pub. So you know, you got to ask your questions, etc. Obviously, I asked my Irish man's kind of affiliation questions and asked him about kind of the future of Newcastle with Irish players. But like he was a top man, and even after, you know, kind of taking time with everybody. So yeah, really good event, and probably hopefully more to come. But yeah, Matty's a top lad.
Yeah, Matty's brilliant. In fairness, he's been great when we've had him on the shows. We know he was doing all the hosting over there during the Euros as well. He's a busy guy. Yeah, just with obviously with Shay Given as well. I mean, you know, we've said it many times. We won't rest until we get that man on this show. So there'll be more Irish Mag shows until then.
And just to plug it for Matty as well. He's doing the show at the Bournemouth away game in the Stack, so he'll be presenting and stuff. I said that we'd mention it on the show if anyone's there.
He's the MC.
He's the MC. Yeah,
he's the man.
The MC.
Oh, no, that's class. I'm looking forward to it. As I've mentioned to you already, I'm heading to the Southampton game. Tev, I know you're going to be there as well. Try and stop me getting to that stack, lads. And I'm more likely to actually get thrown out by that bouncer for standing up in the barrel, but that's quite a possibility. But we'll do our best.
My only fear is when you go holidays twice in the same location, your mate goes once, so it's going to be, I'll go over and be like, you had stack, and you're going to see Paul like, the stack is on. Just relax, man. It's only a cheeseburger.
I'll try.
It's not only a Brack burger; they're unbelievable. I don't care. They're
there's a peanut butter and jelly burger.
Yeah, definitely.
I would say who would eat it.
This is going to turn into a food podcast if we don't stop, lads.
Look, let's just say, Paul, that every single food place in the Stack, I think everyone tried at least one thing for most of them. Every single bit of it was like restaurant quality food. It was exceptional, and it was very reasonable in its price as well.
Yeah,
brilliant.
So, beautiful.
Nice to see, and it's nice to see that the Irish Mags, as soon as the doors of the Stack opened, we already took over our own in there. Standard. But yeah, it's great to see all the Irish Mags traveling in numbers as well. And Alan, you know, we're going to come to the performances in a moment, but just I've seen some unbelievable photos, not just in the Stack, but obviously in some of the different pubs. I'm sure, you know, we all remember how great Alan is with names. But we always talk about this Irish Mags, massive community. This isn't just a bunch of guys like ourselves, our age, our generation who just love football. We are seeing, you know, families travel over. Obviously, you know, your lovely better half traveled with you, Alan. And we saw loads of young Irish Mags, let's call them junior Irish Mags, traveling, some of them for their first games as well. Any particular highlights in terms of, you know, the groups that traveled, any stories you heard, or for people who are going over for the first time, or any standout memories that you can, of course, remember?
I'm just flicking through the photos here myself, and the amount of photos that I got sent to be put into the podcast and into the website for ourselves of just lads getting to their first game or maybe their second game after the Sela last year. Absolutely sensational. As you know, I don't own the flags. The Irish Mags own the flags, but I take control of the flags and say, I will look after them. If I wreck them, I will replace them. But what I did this time was I found the youngest kids that we brought over with us and start dishing out the flags as best as I could. And the photos we got in of the kids with the flags is just unbelievable. Special mention to Theo, who had, I'm actually really jealous of this. His dad got him my first game Newcastle scarf, and I've never seen one of these before. It's sensational. Wow. He's like, oh yeah, it comes with like a box for your ticket, and I was like, never seen that before. Class. Then we've Bobby Nagel, who is the absolute mini of our nags in the group chat. It's terrifying how much he looks like him.
Nags Junior.
Nags Junior.
I'd love to go through every single photo of every single person that went to it, but we'd be here all night. But
Magic weekend though.
I could not believe how many kids got to their first games, how happy they all were. It was just an amazing weekend. And if you get onto theirishmags.com, you will absolutely see every single one of these photos. I'm sure you'll be seeing them popping up on screen now for yourself as well, a few of them. But just outstanding. What a weekend. What a weekend.
Superb. Yeah, we'll have them all in a gallery there. We're actually going to put a Sela gallery up on the irishmags.com website. So if you haven't already been over there, get yourselves over, especially if you're looking for your own beautiful face in there. Krisha, I'm looking at you when we say this as well. We know you like to check
gents, this was only the Friday. You're going to get to the performance, but we do have the whole of Saturday, Paul, of course, as well, where I suppose I nearly forgot that we actually had a second day in Newcastle.
Yes.
But we'll get to that later. I suppose we'll
loaded text messages saying, "Are we meeting at 1? Are we meeting at 12? Are we meeting at 2?" What a weekend.
Krisha, you're a flight risk. You're a logistical nightmare is what you are.
I am a logistical
nightmare. We joked about who's minding who. I think we know who was minding who on this particular weekend.
Yeah, very much
Superb stuff. And fair play to everyone who travelled over. You know, some people might look at it and go, it's a pre-season game. You know, but the Sela weekend, and fair play to the organisers and the club, and you know, it's obviously much more than that, and the timing of the stack and everything like that, and the weekend that goes into it, and as well, like they're two pretty decent clubs. But thankfully, particularly the first game, we managed to overcome them both. And maybe we'll have a little chat about the performances, lads. And, you know, I mean, I think I'll focus on Alan and maybe Krisha for the first game, just in case Krisha doesn't remember a whole lot of the second game. But that first game against Girona, and in particular that first half, you know, we've seen some performances from Newcastle over the last season or two where we've just gone out and bamboozled teams in the first half. Spurs comes to mind. Obviously, Villa in the opening game of last season. Sheffield United, they're still probably traumatised. This is the Newcastle we're hoping to see against Southampton on Saturday and at multiple stages throughout the season. All guns blazing, especially with a rotated squad. Yeah. Early signs, Alan, do you think that's what we're expecting to see? Do you know?
Yes, from minute one, you could see the press was back. Just on one person who didn't score, Alexander Isak. Unicorn. That's all you can say about him. He's not a real footballer. I don't know what he is. He's a freak. What a footballer. He didn't score, but was the best player on the pitch by a country mile. Ran the show. Just absolutely sensational. Every man that was on the pitch was outstanding. Little disappointed with Girona, but I don't think that was Girona's fault. I just think that we made Girona look as bad as they were. They're a Champions League team. They did the double over Real Madrid last year. They were a good team. We put them to the sword. If we had to come out in the second half as gung-ho to get more goals, that could have been 8, 9, 10-0, and it wouldn't have been flattering. It would have been, that's about right. Every time we went forward, we looked like we were going to score. I don't think Girona really tested the waters too much, but it's just an unbelievable performance from minute one. Outstanding. Every single player, outstanding.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you, Krisha, and even Tev, I suppose, like any particular individual performance to stand out, and I was going to kind of lean towards new signings. Now, there isn't that many. But Krisha, I know you were quite impressed with one signing in particular who was playing in defence, I think on the second day in particular.
No, well, Lloyd Kelly. Lloyd Kelly was sensational. He was tidy. He looked strong at the back. He looked like he'd been playing for us for years. He was pinging balls all over the place, like Al was saying before. Imagine having Fabian Schär on the right and him on the left, pinging balls all over the place. The ball he played to Barnes. I think it was on the second day, but maybe it was on Friday night. I can't remember. I'm a bit hazy. But all I know is that he looked fantastic. And like I said, surprise signing of the season might just be Lloyd Kelly, because he looks like he fits right into Newcastle. Yeah, perfectly. So he was exceptional. And also, quick shout out to Jacob Murphy. Who needs a right winger? We have Jacob Murphy.
We do.
He was great.
No, I think we great.
I know. Okay, we do.
Yeah.
Okay, we do. But he was very, very good.
Yeah,
very good.
Nice to see. And Tev, for yourself, then, I assume you were probably much more coherent than Krisha was for the majority of the weekend. In terms of what you saw from Eddie Howe, in terms of the selections, in terms of some of the youth players, I think it was Sanusi has been lauded with credits for what he's been showing in pre-season as well.
So yeah, no, I agree with Alan. I thought the press was back. Girona were very poor. I thought they were trying to play out with kind of Daily Blind and had Van der Beek up top. It was a mess. It was an absolute mess. But the goals are really good to see. Quick shout out on kind of the more younger players. Jamie Miley surprised me. He was very calm and collected. I thought he was really good. The balls he was playing, nothing too flash, but he was really good, you know. And then obviously Sanusi, I thought it was a like a maxi regen, but like some of the skills he was pulling out, and you could see like, you know, Jason Tyndall and kind of Eddie were encouraging him, you know, because again, there's always this perception in terms of when say Maximo was here that they didn't want a winger like that. No, not at all. As long as you track back and you work like a horse, you know. But no, I thought it was really good. Again, I agree with Chris in terms of Lloyd Kelly. That assist for Barnes is unreal, absolutely unreal. But you could tell in terms of difference between some of the players that are playing in day 2 and day 1, and maybe some of them in terms of fitness. But you know, there was some of them that were just a different class. You know, Lewis Hall as well. Like they were complaining last season about him not being fit. Watch him now; he's fit as a fiddle.
Yeah, monster.
Tracking players to the halfway line. You know, but I know I thought it was a good showing. And like I think the lads will agree. Like obviously, like we know what's like kind of pre-game in terms of St. James Park for Premier League games. That Sela weekend, I've never seen it so busy as well. You know, like you talk about the stack, you're talking about the club store. The buzz is unreal. It felt like it was a Newcastle versus Man City or something. You know,
but that's what you want. You know what I mean? It's like we want to build momentum very early in the season, as in starting from the first league game. Hopefully, the players are feeling that buzz already to know, like, okay, well, if this is what it's like for the Sela. You know, we're playing 2 friendlies back to back, day on day, and also rotated teams. Yeah, you'd like to think that they're absolutely buzzing to get out and play our first Premier League game at home. Newly promoted team, bunch of our lads looking sharp, looking fit. God, I really hope that's a good sign. Tev, any particular highlight of the weekend for you that stands out, either from an Irish Mags perspective in terms of the games, in terms of just what you saw over the few days?
I thought, like, obviously the 2 things that stand to me, well, 3 things, sorry, 4 things, but probably mentioned 3.
17 things.
17 things. I thought obviously the Shay Given kind of event on Thursday in terms of that, obviously that was fantastic to see and stuff like that. But I think with the lads, there was a lot of Irish Mags juniors that are around kind of for the Sela weekend, which is actually fantastic to see. So we talk about the community and stuff like that, everybody being together, but like nearly everybody kind of brought their sons and some of their children, and it was just nice to see with the flags and getting involved. And we were going to places where kind of were child friendly as well, and like it enhanced the experience, like talking and stuff like that. Even seeing Nags as like Nags Junior, etc. I thought it was really nice to see. And then just to get back into it. Obviously, summer is great. The Euros was great, but it's just nice to be in Newcastle again. It's nice to go to a game. It's nice to be together. Not watching Croatia versus Finland or whatever. Like we're back.
Yeah.
But I don't know what you guys think.
I mean, like I had said to you guys before, and I know we've kind of reminisced standing beside at the end of a game or at halftime and kind of looked at from the small nucleus that it was built from to what it is now. But like Ted was saying, Paul, like for the first time this season, and to really, because we've kind of missed it over the summer of kind of meeting up and meeting new people and stuff. It was really evident that like there's a real community here, and the fact that it was so family orientated. Okay, yeah, you could have the pints and fall over and make a holy show yourself and all the rest of it, but there was also moments of just a big bunch of people all collectively supporting Newcastle, being Irish, especially in the Tyneside Centre on Saturday, who were very welcoming to us and very, very kind and lovely. And anyone who's an Irish Mag should go there because it's a right crack in there. Seeing all the young lads sitting around so excited for the match on Saturday. Alan giving them the flags and giving them stickers and stuff. They were over the moon. Like I wish I'd have that when I was younger, growing up supporting Newcastle. But it's great that from Tev and Jamie and everybody else to build a community that everyone feels so welcome. And I don't know about you, Tev, but I got a couple of messages from certain people today and on Sunday just to say how much they enjoyed meeting everybody. It's so nice to put faces, names to faces, and they can't wait to get down to Bleecker Street for a game or get over to a Newcastle game to hang out again. I'm just glad, Paul, that I wasn't like super drunk in the middle of the day talking to people. So that was
Sorry.
Just look at Alan's face for this statement.
Zero truth and one lie.
Sorry, what was that?
Look, I had my shades on, so nobody knew. So
The parts where Krisha wasn't drunk, he remembers very well that he wasn't drunk.
Yeah.
Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah. Well, Al likes to kind of surprise people with pink liquid in a small shot glass. Standing there, Paul, chatting away. You know what I mean? Things are rolling along nicely, and I just saw pink stuff out of my periphery vision and went, "Oh my god, what's that?" Big tray of shots. I was like, "What?" He said, "Don't ask. Just don't ask. Just drink it." So we kind of like that. You don't smell it. You'll know what it is. It was pink sambuca. Good lord!
It tastes like raspberry toilet cleaner or something.
It was so bizarre. We were like,
I thought they were feeding you Calpol there at one point, Chris.
I wish I had Calpol, but no. Like the thing is, just essentially the Saturday it was all supposed to be in the Tyneside Centre from 11 or 10 or something like that. I woke up at 9. I thought it's a lovely day. Blah, blah, blah. It's a bit early. I'll have a bit of a kip. And I woke up at exactly 1 o'clock with a call from Alan going, "Where are you? Are you all right? Are you alive?" But yeah, and I made it. But the thing is, I couldn't get to the stadium because of the protest.
No. What did you
That
say?
was a lie. I was about to say.
Where are you? And he's like, I'm just on the way. I was like, no, you're not. I was like, where are you? He's like, I'm in bed. I was like, we were meant to meet an hour ago. He's like, I'm on the way. He arrives an hour later, falls into the Irish Centre, dying of a hangover.
You know what's
dying.
Chris.
I've told everybody, lads, we're meeting at the Irish Centre at 12 o'clock. Yeah. Did I not hop on the bus at 12:15 saying I'm on the way?
I'm there on my own. I was there on my own. I was so sad.
Okay, Chris Show.
Yeah.
Oops.
To be honest, none of this surprises me. You've done exactly what I expected you to do on this trip. You've achieved everything I expected you to achieve.
I'm old.
I'll throw it out there. If you want to have a good weekend, be like Chris Show. And younger listeners, drink sensibly in the future and all that kind of stuff.
Drink sensibly, everybody.
But as we said, all of that in terms of the group spirit, it's all part of it, right? And, as much as we joke about it, when you travel in a group like that, everyone's looking after each other, making sure you're at the right place at the right time. It's class, honestly. And I just hope that we can see as much of that throughout the season with all the different home games and even away games, as much as we can possibly see. And we'll come to those meetups in a moment. Just before we wrap up, lads, any other wildness from the Sela Weekender to reflect on? We've covered a lot there.
Every bit of it was great.
Every bit of it, yeah. Like I was nearly poisoned by a cocktail. We went to check out the discount cards that we're obviously offering through the website and so on. Just to run through, and we went to, I'm not sure what the name of the place is. I couldn't barely see it at that stage. Freaky Tiki, right? So we went in, and the lads all got the same cocktail, but I didn't. Of course I didn't. And I got a little martini glass with like some kind of weird yellow liquid in it. It looked like yellow snow, but it was the most brutally alcoholic cocktail I've ever tasted in my life. And I can drink alcohol, and I sipped it a little bit. I was like, oh my gosh, Jesus Christ. But from that moment onwards, I don't remember a thing except for an hour and a half later, ended up at Taco Bell. So I don't remember anything at all. So that was the first place we tried our discount card, and it was great because we got our discount, and the lads were all sitting there with their same drinks, and I'm sitting there with this crazy cocktail. So I really apologize about doing the Irish goodbye, Tiff, but I had to get out of there. And then what did I come across? I came across Taco Bell in Newcastle.
I've never seen somebody look at Taco Bell like it's the most unique Pokemon they've ever seen in their life. Walk past Taco Bell, and he was like, "Oh my god, it's Taco Bell, man!" And it's like nearly 1 a.m. Oh my god, stop at Taco Bell. Jesus. And Joe's the funny thing, you did the Irish goodbye where you went to the Jacks and then disappeared, but Graham went to the toilet. The toilet was locked. Graham was knocking on the toilet with nobody there for about 20 minutes and came out and said, I think Chris was gone.
Chris set the trap there. You went in, locked the door, climbed out over and said, I think I'm in here. It's the perfect escape. Chris is secretly a genius, lads. He's secretly a genius. I don't know if how have you not picked up on this. I'm very impressed, lads. Very jealous. But again, what a weekend. Fair play to everyone, all involved. And again, as we said, check out theirishmags.com for the full gallery of all of the pictures we've collated. And yeah, many, many more to come indeed. Right, boys. That's the Sela Weekender behind us now. Let's start to look a little bit ahead of us, especially seeing as we have Tev here. We're going to spend a bit of time just talking about, we've already done our pre-season predictions episode. We had the excellent Charlotte Robson on from the True Faith podcast. We've gone through what we expect to see this season on the field and in terms of Newcastle finishing in the various competitions. But I think it's probably a good time to just talk about some of the more pertinent and specific Irish Mags updates ahead of the new season. We've mentioned a few things already, and a lot of this stuff has kind of rolled out across our WhatsApp groups, across our social media. And we just wanted to kind of collate all of the various kind of important key pieces of information ahead of the new season for all the Irish Mags. All of this, again, is going to be available on theirishmags.com, either on the website, across the different menus, or in the news section. One of the big news items we released maybe a week or two back, Tev, was the discount cards. And as we've heard, Crisho has very much put them to the test. Sela Weekend was basically the pilot for the Irish Mags discount card. So if anyone's not aware, basically, Tev and another committee member of the Irish Mags, Scott, have spent countless hours and communications with various establishments over in Newcastle to just inquire about, hey, we have gangs of people travelling every week or two. We like to drink and eat food. We like to travel in numbers. Could we secure some discounts across some of these establishments? As we all know, travelling to Newcastle isn't cheap between flights and taking off work and all that kind of stuff. And by all accounts so far, it's been a good success. These are printed discount cards that people, it's €10 to buy. They last you for the whole season. I think if you're Crisho, an hour in the pub, you've earned back that €10 in terms of the discount, especially when you're drinking on the level and shelf that Crisho consumes from. But at the moment, Tev, we've got about 8 or 10 different establishments throughout the city with multiple discounts across food, across drink, and all the like. Some of them it's better to book if possible. All the details are on site. What's the take so far? Are they going down well? And, for people who are traveling now, let's say this weekend and in the weekends to come, people need to get on this. That's the point of, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's been fantastic. I think the reason why we're doing it is because obviously we're trying to enhance the experience of Newcastle United fans in Ireland. So that doesn't stop in the bleakers or kind of in our meetups. That doesn't stop when we travel over as a community. We know there's a cost of living crisis, etc. So anywhere we can help enhance the experience. And the experience, by the way, guys, it's not just a game. It's the 7:30 when we arrive in kind of Newcastle and we're beside Wetherspoons. It's the Sunday when we, as Alan was with his partner, or you're in Newcastle for the day. We're trying to enhance that weekend, that experience, and there's other things that we're doing in terms of affiliations with clubs and stuff like that. But I think in terms of the discount cards, they've gone a treat. So as Crisho said, we've gone to a kind of few places and we've used the discount, and that's helping kind of bring people together and also keeping us together in kind of these establishments and helping them. Because again, if you're going to a company and saying, or a business saying, oh, I've a load of Irish lads that are ready to drink, it's in their favor as well. So the uptake has been great. I know kind of a few lads have kind of pre-booked them as well. That's how kind of they're running out kind of fast to kind of collect them on Saturday. But we said it as well, we're here to kind of put money back in and kind of enhance the experience in terms of events, in terms of raffles, etc. So all the money that we're making, it's going back into the Irish Mags community to kind of do other stuff. But what I would say, from us, and we're saying this now, the €10 that we're paying, even though we have 8 or 10 discounts, it's looking positive in terms of that increasing. If we have 20, 25, that will always be a tenner in terms of the ticket from kind of this season to kind of May. So again, it's nothing that the price is going to double. We are here to kind of try help you guys as well, enhance your experience. So there's going to be more discounts, but it'll always be a tenner, and I see that as value.
Absolutely, yeah. And as you said, we do travel in numbers. We do travel together. It makes sense, and we're building up the brand of the Irish Mags, and equally, we're spending enough to get there. It's nice to get a little bit back, and everything we're getting through them is pumped straight back into the Irish Mags, which is great, including this podcast. Hopefully, if my microphone breaks, I'll be ringing Tev. We'll see what happens. Check that out on theirishmags.com. There's a discount card section where you can see all the details. The cards are available from any of the committee members. You can also email info@theirishmags.com. And as we said, well worth a look. On a similar topic, there's a couple of other events that we're running, and again, it's all in the name of community, all in the name of a bit of crack ahead of the new season, and equally, any of the funds that we raise are being pumped straight into the community fund. Alan, I'll come to you to talk about the Irish Mags FPL. Now, that's not something we're collecting for, but I think it's a good one from a community perspective. I don't know, most people I know play FPL. It's one of the most enjoyable and frustrating games you can play, mostly because we just forget to do it on a particular weekend and it screws you for the year. But we do have an Irish Mags FPL league running.
We do indeed. We had one last year, and speaking as the person who finished dead last because I made the team and forgot about it. So yeah, I got to the end of the season and looked back at my team and I was like, Jesus, 4 of these lads aren't even in the Premier League anymore. So yeah, I was doing real well in the FPL. So yeah, we're back running that. We were gonna try get a little bit of a trophy, but it's a little bit too hard and it just gets a bit. So this FPL, if you want to get into it, just throw us a message. We'll get you straight into it. But it's just purely for the fun of it and the absolute chaos of getting to say that I am the best FPL manager in the Irish Mags. And there's about 121 of us at the moment, which is a serious amount of people. Yeah, 121 members. So you've a lot of bragging rights if you want to win this.
Alan's new Twitter handle, Alan Williamson, 121st in the Irish.
Yeah. That's a name for a club, man.
Yeah,
absolutely. And then another initiative we've been driving. I say we've been driving, guys. Big shout out to Colin McCabe, who's driving a lot of the fundraising efforts from the Irish Mags perspective. Yeah, he has just recently launched the new Last Man Standing, which has been ran twice successfully, if not 3 times over the last season or 2.
4.
Maybe 4.
Yeah.
I haven't won, that's why I can't remember. I still keep crashing out. Yeah, standard.
Newcastle keep killing me.
This is an excellent competition if anyone's not really aware of it. You basically pick a team every weekend that you think is going to win. If they don't win, you are out. Draws are no good. And once you pick a team, you can't pick them again. And you basically, it's like the name says on the tin, Krisho, you just play until you lose. Now, I'm interested to know, Krisho, have you ever got that far in this?
No.
With your vast football knowledge?
No, I thought like the last man standing thing was something to do with drinking and,
Yeah, you wouldn't win that either, don't worry.
No, actually, I was going to say something else, but you're right. I wouldn't win that either.
Yeah, no, it is a fantastic initiative. Again, it's €10 entry fee, and once again, all of that's pumped back. And actually, in particular, Tev, correct me if I'm wrong, there is a charity element on this one as well, right? Half of the proceeds are being donated to, I want to say, Pieta House and maybe one other.
Yeah, so the food bank. So what we're going to be doing kind of this season, the more kind of charity initiatives. So for this one, and I think for a lot of kind of other things that we're going to be doing, so half the money in terms of what we're raising is going to go to Pieta House in terms of Irish-based charity, close to all our hearts. And then also we have an affiliation as well with the Newcastle Food Bank as well. So again, just kind of more kind of glimpses in terms of what we're looking to do. But yeah, no, it's fantastic.
Excellent.
And it's we want to do a load more charity events, I suppose is the best way to sum it up. We have loads of things in mind. With a group like this, it's all about community, it's all about Newcastle, it's all about travelling, it's all about meetups. But we do feel we're in a great position to make some big impacts from a charity perspective. So plenty more to come on that, and great to see. And of course, thank you so far to everyone who's entered at any point. And it's currently open. You need to get in before the season begins. So check it out, theirishmags.com. We have a particular news page on that as well. Right. God, there's so much to talk about here. Alan, let's talk about something that we're very used to now. And again, we're going to expand on this, but I think it's a good time to talk about meetups. I think we mentioned the Bleecker Street Bar already in this conversation on the show tonight, but we know for the year we have a lot of meetups planned. But to kick us off, the first meetup of the 24-25 season?
The first meetup of the 24-25 season will be in Bleecker Street Bar this Saturday, 3 p.m. We'll be there from about 1:30, 2 o'clock-ish, depending on. And to give people a little bit of a teaser, there may be a little bit of a surprise for you.
Oh, he's done this before.
Yeah, so what are we going to have this time?
So
there will be a little bit of a surprise. Not going to tell you. I'll put a picture in of next week's pod. You'll be able to see exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, trust me, you're going to enjoy this one if you come to the Bleecker ever, because not that it was a complaint, but it was something that was said and we've rectified it. So there we are.
That's all we can do.
All we can do. So Saturday, 1:30, 2 o'clock, we will be there. The flags will be up. Not all of them, because Tev won't give me them all back because he's mean. But yeah.
I'll be like Superman in the airport on Saturday.
There'll definitely be one draped around my shoulders when I've been thrown out of the stack anyway.
Yes. So anyone who's in and around Dublin at any stage on Saturday who wants to come in and be part of the Irish Magnus, come on down to Bleecker Street Bar. You're more than welcome.
You get to meet the famous podcasters, Krisho and Al. Come on down, everybody. Come on. Is that all right to say famous podcasters? No? Or just podcasters?
Infamous. I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah, Infamous will do. Yeah, Infamous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depending on who you
And
are.
just on that, if you are showing up, I will have the discount cards for sale. Obviously,
will
all
too.
money, yeah, they will be going. You've already sold half yours. You did it at the Sela, so I'm selling them at the meetups. Don't be going there.
I went around flying them around all over. Look at this, look at this. I gave one to Matty as well because obviously he's an honorary member of the Irish Mags. So Matty has one, so he's going to be using them whenever he goes. Not that he needs to, but it's nice for him to flash that around somewhere. So that's for Matty.
Yeah, looking forward
Nice
to that.
one. Yeah, and just on that note as well, it reminds me, we also have some stickers on the go, and some of these have already started to find their way around Newcastle and beyond, Alan. Alan, if you're watching on YouTube as we speak, Alan is holding some of them up on camera.
Yeah.
But we also have some Irish Mag stickers doing the rounds as well. Lads, we're really putting
Worldwide.
it out there. You know? Yeah,
Worldwide.
we're massive.
We're taking over.
We are massive.
Yeah.
Love that. Absolutely class. And just on the topic of meetups as well, I know obviously a lot of the meetups have taken place in the Bleecker Street Bar in Dublin in the past. Naturally, we've got, obviously, just to population reasons, a larger crowd in Dublin. I've been up there myself. I can highly recommend it's worth a trip. Not forgetting that Johnny and the team there have also dedicated that upstairs area to us. The walls are painted black and white. I mean, that's the time that Alan started crying and weeping when he walked up to see it for the first time as a grown man.
Love it.
But the meetups won't stop there, I guess, is the point. We actually have an entire kind of a meetups network put together for the season ahead. So we're going to see a lot more meetups around the country. Obviously, we've seen Paul and the guys do it down in Cork, looking at Limerick, myself from Galway, we've got Castlebar, we're looking at Belfast. So again, I suppose while we're mentioning it, keep your eyes peeled if you're interested in meetups in any locations around the place, and especially if you're interested in kind of organizing one. It doesn't require a lot. It really doesn't. Got to find a location and obviously coordinate people in that area. But if you want to get a flag that's sent down to you, lads, if you want to get any of those stickers, all that kind of stuff, do reach out to any of the committee members, ourselves here, or just as simple as info@theirishmags.com. There's going to be a lot of meetups this year, and we'll be doing. There's going to be touring of the country, right? Tev is going to be in every county in Ireland, I'd say, by the end of it. Tev on tour. Love it. Okay. And I just wanted to throw in one more, lads. We've had a few questions, and maybe Alan, I'll look at you for this, about merch.
Yes.
Popping up at different times. So obviously we have two kind of merch, let's say, partners who offer Irish Mags and or Newcastle merch that's kind of specific to ourselves. One is Forza and the other is the Mags merch website, magsmerch.com, I think it is.
It is.
Do you want to just maybe bring people up to speed who are wondering about when is the windows going to open, particularly with Forza, who we know open every now and again? Maybe you could just give us a kind of an overview on what's available and when.
So the Mags merch is available at all times throughout the year and is constantly available and is there whenever you want. The link is actually on our website on theirishmags.com, but the Forza gear link will be opening up in the next couple of weeks. I haven't got a guaranteed date yet, but what I am trying to do with the guys from Forza is get a definite date to get us a definite answer of when this stuff will be arriving, because with it being a bit more bespoke and the gear being of higher quality, I don't like saying stuff like that, but it's bespoke gear made for us, that it takes an awful lot longer for our gear to be made. It's not just a jumper with something printed onto it. It's our gear. It's all embroidered. It's all, our names are in it. So that takes a little bit longer. So we're trying to get it to cut that time down as much as we can. And I'm just waiting on Forza to get back to me with a definitive date. So what you can do is just keep an eye out in the groups or in anything you can, anywhere you can on the websites, and we'll get this info out as soon as we possibly can.
Excellent stuff. Keep your eyes peeled, and as we always say, keep an eye on the website, keep an eye on the WhatsApp as well.
Yeah.
And look, if you have any questions, shoot them our way. Don't even think twice. That's probably a lot of the updates. Tev, I'm looking at you here now. Is there anything else we need to fill in our members about kind of ahead of the new season in terms of Irish Mags and logistics and events and all those fun things?
I just think onwards and upwards. I think first of all, congrats to everybody that's been involved the past kind of year and a half. You know, I think everybody will say here that's been a ball, you know, in terms of committee, in terms of people joining Irish Mags, Champions League games, meetups, etc. It's been a ball, you know. We've made friends out of it as well. So it's been fantastic from everybody that we've met, even the kids and stuff like that, people coming, partners, etc. It's been a ball. So we just want to continue it. Again, like with everything that we're doing in terms of podcasts, in terms of Twitter, in terms of the website, etc., like we don't have a membership, you know, we only release discount cards. So if there's any business owners in terms of Irish Mags or Newcastle, etc., do get in contact, because again, we can't work with you. Definitely, we're still looking for kind of sponsorship for the podcast, which will also include stuff in terms of our website as well. So again, if you're curious about it, whether you're living kind of in Ireland, you're an Irish Mag, or you're in Newcastle, get in contact, because again, I'm sure there's something that we can work towards kind of together, because again, we're just trying to enhance the experience of Irish fans and Newcastle fans. So again, get in touch. And then onwards and upwards, again, we've heard a lot of queries. Alan's kind of alluded to it. The feedback that we're getting from surveys, the feedback that we're getting from people kind of chatting, we are implementing it, so we are trying our best. So we're actively looking in terms of a network, in terms of meetups. We're actively looking in terms of feedback to enhance kind of our meetup locations. That's based off us being kind of proactive. So again, any other kind of information, just share it on, and then we'll try our best.
Superb. And we couldn't do any of that without all of the input and support from the Irish Mags members and our listeners themselves. So a big shout out to everyone, as well as all the guys and girls in the committee and the community and beyond. Fair play to everybody. Right, lads. Before we kind of approach the end of this show, I think we should just move on to kind of some topical matters, because even on the day that we're recording this, it's all about transfers, and I think we'd be foolish not to quickly touch on it, especially with that Southampton game only around the corner. Alan, in literally the last minutes and hours, it looks like there's a bit of movement on the Marquee situation. Yeah. Now again, this is the time we're recording, so maybe by the time people are listening to this, Marquee may be a Newcastle player, maybe he won't. But we're feeling positive about it, I think it's fair to say.
It's moving in the right direction. That's the easiest way to explain it. We haven't got a here we go, we haven't got a done deal, we haven't got him holding the jersey yet, but it's moving in the right direction. It looks like Palace are happy enough with the amount of money that we've offered. It's all to do with deals and structures and add-ons and all the stuff that we don't really care about, because we just want to see the player holding the jersey going, I am now a Newcastle player. So Gahey, fingers crossed, will come out at half-time on Saturday at 3:45 p.m. wearing his new lovely Newcastle United number 3 jersey. Although, Kelly didn't take the number 3. So Dummett's jersey is available. He will be number 3.
Wow. Big calls being made by Alan Williamson on this week's pod, indeed. Okay. A couple of other names, Chris Shaw, that are doing the rounds, and this is where you'll tell us whether Steve Nixon has been on the phone to you or not. We're looking at a couple of forward names. 2 or 3 names in particular. The Turkish guy Yilmaz has popped up again. Alan was one of the first to mention him on this pod good few weeks ago now, in and around the Euros and before. Alan the ITK. The guy from Mainz who was Gouda, his name is still not really gone away, but one of the freshest ones looks to be Noni Madueke, who obviously is on the books at Chelsea, who have just splashed a lot of cash on Pedro Neto with a 7-year contract, which potentially could open the door. Chris, show anything.
Wait until you hear this. Wait until you
Here we go.
Honestly, right?
What's the opposite of here we go? So, because Chris is the anti Fabrizio Romano.
I'm the IDK. I don't know.
The I don't know. Yeah.
Right.
We'll get that a t-shirt.
I'm gonna get that. That's a t-shirt there, right? But wait until you hear this cracker. Wait till you hear this, right? Right. Nicholas Jackson plus Madueke plus 35 million for Alexander Isak.
Trauma podcast. Just trauma
now.
Podcast.
Too many pluses. Was there just too many pluses now?
That's not for me, right? That is Nicholas Jackson, Madueke plus 35 million pounds for Alexander Isak, 31st of August.
Probably Isak's left foot.
Which one of them players are they valuing at 170 million? Because Isak's worth 250. Because no.
There's, obviously this is clearly not happening, right? But there's rumors swirling around in the last maybe, I don't know, you're going to look at me and say 10 minutes, but no, the last couple of hours, that Nicholas Jackson is somebody that we take, Madueke was somebody we take, and then 35 million pounds on top of it.
So, Chris, I was going to come to you in the next section to ask you for a bad take of the week, and I think you've just given me the bad take of the week. Now, if through some strange universal miracle we're sitting here at some point in the future and that deal has happened, good grief. But no, I'm sorry, we can't have that. That is a terrible take.
I just want to announce to everybody. That is the official bad take of the summer. That's it,
Love
right?
it.
That's it.
I
Alexander
love it in
Isak.
terms of it being terrible.
Yeah.
Alexander Isak is going to do a swap with Chelsea for Nicholas Jackson, Madueke, and £35 million. You heard it here first.
Realistically, I would want £35 million plus prime George Weah, prime Gabriel Batistuta, and maybe throw in Ronaldinho as well, just to shape it up what he does on the left-hand side.
Yeah. And I'd still want a bit more money.
More pluses on
Oh
that.
dear. Yeah, that's a lot. No, that's a lot.
And just on
Fantastic,
Duda,
lads.
it looks like he's off to Brighton. I think he got a here we go in the last little while as well. So that's a non-mover for ourselves.
Brighton are quickly trying to go for them having the most wingers and kind of forward young players.
They're just doing the Football Manager Wonder Kid strategy of buying every single person who's ever been a Wonder Kid. And if it works, it works. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, look, as we've always said, we are getting antsy. The first game of the season is around the corner. 2 to 3 weeks left in the transfer window. Here's hoping that deal that blindsides us to an extent. Guehi is kind of that deal. It came out of nowhere, kind of. Now it's been dragging on for a week, but let's hope that there's a similar deal that none of us have spoken about, that no one's heard of, that we can quickly get over the line.
Well, if Guehi does happen, I'm going to be slated in the group, because as soon as that link happened, I was like, that's absolutely not happening. Not in a million years. As a player of his caliber going to come to us with no European football. And I'm hopefully going to be eating my words. I'm praying I'm going to be eating them words.
Alan, take one for the team.
Yeah, I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Love it. Super stuff, lads. Well, all we can do is sit patiently and wait. But between now and then, I think the big focus is obviously going to be our first Premier League game of the season against Southampton. As we said, myself and Tev are going to be over there. Really looking forward to heading over there. Shout out to any of the Irish Mags who are travelling. Make sure you get in touch. We're going to be meeting up in various locations, discount cards all over the place. A couple of us might also be at that True Faith live show on the Friday night if anyone fancies a spin by there as well. And I think we'll finish off this pod, lads, with a score prediction. It's been a while. So let's finish off round the house score prediction. Newcastle against Southampton, opening game of the 24-25 season. Alan Williamson, what's it going to be?
4-0, and we're finally going to see an Alexander Isak hat-trick. It's happening.
The golden egg.
It's happening.
I absolutely love that. It'll double his value in one game. I'm
Yes.
fully on board with that. Yeah. Tev, I'll come to you next.
4-0, Longstaff double. I just have a feeling.
Jesus.
I just have a feeling. It's going to be one of them. Comes
Lowering the
in,
tone of the
yeah.
pod.
Longstaff double.
Unbelievable. Okay. Crucio?
2-2 at half time, 4-2 to Newcastle full time.
Oh, conceding too.
Conceding 2 just from some caught in the hop.
Okay.
Fair,
I'll be having a
fair,
pint
fair,
if that happens.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with a 4-1, lads. I play a lot of Football Manager, as you know, and a lot of people say with Football Manager, whenever you come up against a team that has a former player of yours playing for them,
Yes.
they always score.
Yes.
Adam Armstrong is going to score in St. James's Park, assuming he's
Potentially Ryan Fraser too.
Oh, there's another one. Yeah. So
he
yeah,
definitely
I'm going to
won't
throw
play
4-1 out there, but I still think comfortable win. I do think we'll see Isak maybe on the score sheet at least twice. Don't know if I'm as optimistic about Alan on the hat trick.
Get the hat trick.
And lads, I want to be in St. James's Park and see Jacob Murphy just banging a screamer and do the big smiley face one more time. And just for the shithousery and the vibes. I'd say that's as good a time as any, lads, to wrap up episode 38 of the Irish Mags Show. A reminder that all of the social links, everything we've mentioned, is of course in the description below. Check out theirishmags.com for all the information on all of the things we mentioned about meetups and discounts, FPL, Last Man Standing, and so much more. We will be back for more Irish Magnus next week, hopefully with 3 points in the bag, and we'll finally be doing a match review of a Premier League game in what feels like a long time. So until then, how away the lads, slán go fóill, and we'll see you all very soon. Say goodbye, gentlemen.
Slán, lads.
Slán,
Have a good one, everybody. Away the Mags.